What's good, YouTube? I'm a little late on this one too, but we're gonna talk about Corey Brewer signing with the Oklahoma City Thunder. This was a guy in a team that was looking for somebody that can take place of Andre Roberson or Roberson, whatever which one you want to call him. Obviously, he got injured for the rest of the season. I think he can still be back by the playoffs, depending on how far they go. He is a big part of what they do because he allows Paul George and himself mostly to guard the best player on the other team, leaving a guy like Paul George to guard the second or third best player also. And you got long length, reach, passing lanes, and good on ball defense that you don't even need to double team or trap because you have great players like Paul George and Andre on the perimeter. Obviously, one of their biggest problems was that he couldn't shoot threes or space the floor. Sometimes you can't get what you want. Sometimes when you need the position filled, like they say, they had Victor Oladipo last year that can fill that position at the shooting guard, give you some shooting and some scoring at that position. Obviously, they lose him and get Paul George. Now they got the three position that wasn't filled last year, but it was filled by Robertson. Now it's filled by Paul George. Now they don't have. Now I got to find somebody to fill the two guard position. Sometimes it happens like that. You only can pay a certain amount of players, and Paul George, Carmelo, and Russell Westbrook take up huge part of their salaries. I mean, the salary of the Thunder, and obviously Steven Adams got $100 million extension too, so that doesn't help either. But Steven Adams is the heart and soul of that team. He plays hard. He sets the screens. He makes sure people get the shots that they want. He moves the ball. He's selfless. And he still gets his points, whether it's getting tips and dunks and just floaters or just playing within the system, playing within the pick and roll and not trying to force anything up or do anything that's out of his comfort zone. But I would still like I said in my video about him, I would still like to see a guy like Steven Adams continue to expand and get better and grow as a player because the better he gets, the more better the team will be, especially in the future since he's so young. But this video, we're going to talk about how Corey Brewer fits in there. He played one game, only took 2 shots. Obviously, he's not going to come in and change this team, you know, from a standpoint of he's not a franchise-changing player. He's not a career-altering player. He's not going to take them from barely making the playoffs to a championship contender. But what he is going to do is bring hustle, bring energy. He's going to play hard. He's going to get in the passing lane. Sometimes he's going to get burnt. Sometimes he's going to get the steal, get easy points. He's a guy that can switch a little bit because he can play the 2, the 3, and the 4, and he can guard each position. And he still is a little athletic. He still can get up and down the court. He still is a little risky. Like I said, he does gamble a lot, and he's very undisciplined compared to a guy like Robertson. You know, he can get some reach-in fouls. He can over-guard players, and he can try a little bit too much. Obviously, I'd rather have him than have nothing. Like he's still an NBA player. He can knock down some threes from time to time. When the ball goes up, Russell likes to push the ball. Carmelo and Paul George, they don't really go to the paint as much. They like to go from that mid-range out to the three-point line. Corey Brewer is a guy that's going to run the court, go right to the paint, get layups, dunks, and free throws. And people going to love playing with him because he has that heart, he has that fight, he has that energy. And he's older. But, he knows his role still. It's curious to see how they're going to use him, considering that they kind of got a Brenus and guys like that that's in Jeremy Grant that fit those bills with long, lanky, and they've been switched. Even Terrence Ferguson is a guy that they've been trying to switch in and out. Obviously, this is a good pickup for, having a guy like Corey Brewer to be on your bench. If you do get another injury or somebody gets in foul trouble, you have another quality small forward / shooting guard / can play the small ball forward. And he can fill that position and still give you scoring at that position because, he's going to get backdoor cuts. He's going to get a couple lobs. And like I said, he's going to get the fast break and he's going to get to the free throw line. But he's not the greatest three-point shooter. We mostly remember him for his Rockets days, not even his Minnesota. When he went to the Rockets those seasons, he was a difference maker, averaging 11 points for those Rockets, then going from 7 to going to 4, as they didn't need him as much as they start filling the bench up with two-way players. And he ended up going to LA having a decent season. but they didn't really need him as much either because they start filling their Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. Injuries happened, so other players got more minutes, and other players started stepping up and increasing their role. And now you have him in OKC. Basically, at the end of his career, he's basically going to be a reserve at this point. He is what he is. You are what you eat, and he's a guy that has been able to continue to make rosters. He's a guy that is going to continue to be a professional and play his game. And, that's going to continue to have him in the NBA until his legs run to the point where he can't jump and burst as quick as he used to. And he's getting to that point. But like I said, he's still a quality NBA player at the end of the day. They don't really need him to do much. He's not going to change them to, like I said, to contenders. They're not going to win a championship because of Corey Brewer. But it is good to have that extra body at that position and a guy that can make a difference depending on who's on the court, what lineups, who needs a break, in foul trouble. I like him. I like to pick up. You're not paying him really that much at all because he end up getting waived from from the Lakers. So you pick him up for $1 million, which is he ain't gonna get that because of taxes. But you get a quality player for $1 million. You can't really beat that. And he actually kind of does fit in with this roster because they do like to play in the passing lane, like Paul George, like Russell Westbrook, who gets burnt a lot too. He's not a disciplined defender either. And you have Adams that can get the rebounds and get the block shots, and that turns into transition. You have players like Paul George and Russell that are super athletic at their positions, and they can clear a lot of space. We like to call it galloping down the court. Soon as they get that ball, they're pushing it, and they're getting layups, dunks, and threes, and it's very hard to guard them already. Especially if you put Grant in there, another guy that's long and lanky and can fill those passing lanes too and get block shots. And like I said, those are energy plays. Those are plays that get the crowd off their feet. Those are the plays that the crowd give you energy because they're excited, they're cheering, and you feel good. You want to celebrate. You want to continue getting that momentum. And that's plays that Corey Brewer makes also. And it's going to work out for him because all he has to do is get out, run a transition every blue moon, knock down a three every once in a while, get to the free throw line three times a game, and run the fast break. So this is a good chance for him. He's going to be on a team, like I said, the Wolves, obviously, and the Lakers are not championship teams at this point. The Wolves are obviously better than the Lakers now, though, but when he was there, they was a championship teams. He get to go to a team where he can actually make the playoffs again. The Lakers obviously is not going to be making the playoffs this year, and it's good for him to actually play for something besides just collecting a check on the Lakers bench, doing nothing, and you're not going to do nothing but go to the lottery anyway. Why not try at least go to a team that shows interest, that feels like you can be a missing piece for their bench, and go in there and contribute and help them win as many games as they can and at least make a difference. And I think he can still do that at this age of 32. But like I said, it's better than playing with the Lakers and basically rotting on the bench, watching a young players play, not really doing that much in practice because they don't need you to do anything in real games. So go to a team that has a chance to make noise. The Thunder is a lot of people tell you that they're a team that you don't want to play in the playoffs. You're not really looking forward to playing them. If you have to play them, you have to play them because it's a seeding. But they have a high ceiling. They have Russ. They have Carmelo. They have Adams. They have Paul George. And they're going to be a tough out. And that's better than playing for the Lakers. Unless you just wanted the money and you just wanted the spotlight and get some business done. There's a lot of celebrities that live there. That means there's a lot of business opportunities there for your brand, not only your brand, just to get you working, just to get you some things that you could probably do after the NBA season is over. But that's what he would be doing if he would have stayed in LA. Now that he's going to OKC, he's actually going to play for a team that can contend for a championship. I think the Thunder, I doubt they get out of the second round. I doubt they get to the Western Conference Finals, but you never know. If you make it, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know at this point, the race is so close in the West. We don't really know what seed is going to be what. We just know Houston and Golden State going to be at 1 and 2. And after that, we don't know who going to make it, who going to fall, injury. We don't know what's going to happen. All you have to do is give yourself a chance and be healthy. And if you have that with Russ, Carmelo, Paul George, and Steven Adams, you have a shot against any team. They blew out Golden State twice. Obviously, I'm a Celtics fan. We swept the series with Miami, and then we ended up getting destroyed by them in the playoffs. So you can't really base everything off the regular season, but you do have confidence that your game plan does work. You do have confidence that you can beat this team because you done did it before, even if it's not probably the regular season. I mean, it's not probably the playoffs, but it do make you feel like you have a chance, and that's all you really need when you get into the playoffs. Anything can happen. A player can step up. A superstar can take over. We done seen it with Dirk. We done seen it with the Pistons. And we done seen teams like the Hakeem Olajuwon Rockets. They got in and was able to finish the job. And this team similarly built. Have talent. Have some aging stars. Have some new future stars. And now they getting that bench a little bit better. I wish they add a couple more pieces. Raymond Felton has been great. Grant has been great. And honestly, they have another piece that can be great off that bench and play within his role and play within his means. And he's just happy to be on a team that's in the playoffs. Let me know what you guys think about Corey Brewer. Do you think he's a good pickup? Do you think he won't matter? Do you think he's just going to sit at the bench anyway? Or do you think he's, hey, I'm just glad to be in the NBA. I'm on the roster and I got a chance to go to the playoffs, something I couldn't do with LA anyway. And I still got that check coming in from LA because they had to pay me to waive me. And I got the rest of that money coming in from OKC because they paid me for the rest of the season. That's a win-win. Go to the playoffs, go to a better team, play with some stars, and get your money anyway. You can't really complain about that. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description in the comment section below. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm gone, and let me know what y'all think about this pickup.